Assembling that stage, incidentally, is no mean trick. It's composed of huge, bulky timbers put together with bolts and stays and wires, what have you, stored during most of the year in the weather. Therefore, it becomes quite waterlogged, just to make it heavier. There are several pieces of it, and it's another duty of the freshman boys on the campus here to lug that thing in out from the shed, get it into the gymnasium here, assemble it into the stage, cover it neatly to hide its weather-beaten features, strengthen whatever has become weakened in the year so that it can support up to 200 students at one time. It's in position now, looks as new as ever, after they've been using it for years. Well, you've heard from the sophomores, the class of 1954, and that is, of course, the sophomore ovation for the sophomores.
And now, for the first time in their lives, the freshman class of 1955, in Moon Memory.
And now the largest competing class of them all, the host class. The kids, the freshmen, will take the stage. It's an awful lot of them, 171. One of the largest participating groups in the history of Glee, but not the largest quite. The freshmen make the final entry. After they have sung, the armed camp proceedings begin, while the judges leave the audience, go to a room in the back of the gymnasium, and compile the points for each class, which will be submitted to the judges' committee, which will total up the points, deliver the results. Meantime, all four classes must wait it out to see who's going to win. It's going to take 171 freshmen quite a while to get to the stage. They're taking the same pattern of arrival that the juniors and the sophomores took, the outside aisles in front of the bleacher audience, quickly down both sides. A line on each side, turning. One line up, steps on one side, one single file line up the steps at the other side, up onto the stage, pausing, turning, part going up the outside edges to the back, part turning toward the front, moving in on the lower level. Blue Monday is an important part of the Glee tradition, too, here at Willamette. And that's the Monday morning that follows the Glee performance. While Glee is in presentation, being formed, put together, all those weeks of work, individual and class bets are made. Those bets have to be answered on Blue Monday morning. What a day. The result is a campus filled with frenzied, sometimes indescribable activity. A great many pies are thrown, along with eggs, new and old eggs. Originality in costuming is in evidence, too. A great many things must be accomplished by Glee losers. And, of course, the top payoff, after all of the individual students have made each other pay off the bets, whatever they had to do it. Why, the top payoff, the climax, when the losing class goes en masse into the old mill stream that wanders past the campus. That's what happens to the class that has chosen fourth place here tonight. They go through the cold, cold water Monday morning. Well, the 171 freshmen are very brightly on stage, almost half on stage now, smiling, marking time very crisply, very much in time. What do we have so far in the way of formation? Well, the background is formed by a large bank of boys on one side with light trousers and navy blue sweaters, and a large bank of girls on the other side of the stage with white skirts and navy blue blouses and sweaters. Now coming up, the final group of freshmen are girls in white skirts and golden yellow blouses. They're going up to the back of the formation, crossing over single file from both sides, coming down the center and filling in the gap, which seems to be a curve. Ah, yes, it's very clear now. The freshman formation consists of a deep blue field masked by the 171 of them, and in the very center, superimposed, a crescent moon. The crescent moon formed by the golden yellow of the blouses. crescent moon on a blue background. The freshman song, words by Laurel Jewett and Barbara Young, music by Keith Myrick, formation just described by Bob Alfred. Freshman song, the class of 1955, sing the final entry in Glee, Moon Melodies. Post positions are filled. Entry number 4 has been sung. The freshman song, the class of 1955. Words by Laurel Jewett and Barbara Young. Music by Keith Myrick. Formation by Bob Alfred. The freshman song, Moon Melodies. Very fine and very wonderful sight it was, too, with all 171 of them holding that very fine formation. The interesting effect was achieved in the middle, the part where they hummed, you remember? Did not sing any words. The blue background, all those making up the blue background, knelt at that point and left the crescent moon standing high over them. Interesting two-level effect achieved that way. The freshman did a very fine song. Looked very pleasant, marched very brightly, smiled very brightly, sang very well the freshman song, Moon Melodies. And now that's all. Freshmen are leaving the stage the way they came, only more quickly. Filing back to their position at the other end of the gym floor in the seats. All 4 songs have been entered. And by now I should imagine the judges, yes, they have, gotten up from where they're seated throughout the audience, made their way to the judges' chamber, where they'll have the difficult job of scoring what we have just heard here. You might be interested in how the judging procedure is divided. To give you a brief idea of it. Words are worth 20 points to each entrant, and the words are judged for originality and adaptability to the serenade theme. Music also has a 20-point value, judged by adaptability to the serenade theme and adaptability to group singing lyrics. Here's the one they all have trouble with, the one that makes and breaks the winner in freshman glee here at Willamette University. Presentation. There are 60 points for that. That includes sonority. Points for presentation, 20 for music, and 20 for words. The judges are working at it now. Freshmen are almost in their positions, and in a moment you'll hear from the freshmen, and you'll know that all the entries in Glee have passed by. .171 freshmen firmly convinced they've won. You are listening to the 44th annual presentation of Freshman Glee from the campus of Willamette University, Salem, Oregon, reaching you transcribed on LBS, the Liberty Broadcasting System.